This week in episode number 252 of the Convincing Idiots podcast. 2025 is the superhero summer blockbuster movies. Just good movies, good superhero movies. We'll talk all about that. A late night talk show shakeup. We'll discuss. And a lot of people are talking about South Park, including us. In our main topic, our favorite superhero alter egos. Who are we selecting? You'll just have to listen to find out here. So come be done with us. Keep listening. Keep watching. And let's start the show.
You guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Call it again.
Convincing Idiots. Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And my name is Nicholas, and I am the millennial here, and we are Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of three friends representing three different generations. We get together here each and every week to discuss all things nerd and pop culture. So if you like that kind of stuff, which obviously you do, you're here with us listening right now, you should also do yourself a favor and go and find us on all of your favorite social media accounts. You can find links to them by simply going to Google and typing in Convincing Idiots, that's our podcast, Linktree, Linktree, and you can follow those links to all of our social media accounts and be sure to support the show by liking, subscribing, and rating and reviewing and buying our merchandise, which you can also find a link to. All that and even more, if you can even bend your mind around that, you can find on our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a historic episode 252 for Convincing Idiots. Yeah.
Some say we would never get to 252.
That's right. Yeah. Some people listened to 251 and said we'd never get to 252. But alas,
Yeah.
we did. We're here.
We are here
252.
against everybody else's better judgment. We are
Yep.
here.
Against all the odds, against all the complaints and the backlash we faced for continuing on, we are here. We hear you, but we don't care. We're here anyway. That's right. So, anyway, that was my intro, and it died there. But what are we having to drink tonight, boys? Ryan, what are you having to drink there, fella?
Same as last week, a
Boo!
Nara
Switch it up.
Johnset.
No, boo.
I still haven't learned how to pronounce it correctly in the last week, but it's a good dad type beer. And again,
You are a good
as-
dad, so there you
thank
go.
you, as you guys are as well. But as seen again, as I said last week in the movie Jaws, this is what Quint drinks on the Orcas. I got a 6-pack of this in honor of the Jaws 50th anniversary. So it's good.
Nice.
Very good beer.
Very nice.
What about you, Dean? What do you got?
I'm going classy. I'm doing a whiskey. Where I went on vacation and got from the Old Smoky, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, the distillery. But this is an espresso martini whiskey.
Interesting.
Ooh, nice.
It's it's got a coffee flavor to it. So you stay awake to get drunk. That's right.
There you go.
Nice. That's right.
It's a good morning whiskey.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
You need a good morning whiskey.
Early bird catches the buzz. That's what they say.
Nick, given that's good. I like that. Nick, given your mustache, I'm assuming you're on probation. But what are you breaking your probation? What are you breaking your probation by drinking?
Well, I am breaking my probation this evening with Tripping Animals Brewing's Venezuelan-styled Pilsner. It is quite delightful. I actually bought it because of the can.
Sure.
It has a Terminator-style polar bear, both of things I am a fan of.
Very nice.
And I don't know that I've ever had a Venezuelan-style Pilsner.
I didn't know you made it.
But yeah, it's quite good. It's very crisp and light and a good summertime beer. I would recommend it. I was at the local discount drug mart this evening, picking out my choice for this weekend's upcoming beer tasting party that Dean is hosting.
Got it.
And I found what I'm going to bring. This is obviously not it, otherwise I wouldn't be sharing it with you. But I do like Tripping Animals. They're a good brewery out of Florida that I found by going to Discount Drug Mart. They do a lot of like sours and fruited things and IPAs, and they do different stuff like that. This is called Beast Machine, but yeah, very good. Would recommend.
Where is this Discount Drug Mart that has this great beer selection?
Dude, all of the discount
Line Road. But no,
Really?
not like that one.
But
nothing has it like that one.
Yeah, Medina's a special breed there.
Medina Line Road, is that what you said?
Yes, right off
Okay.
of what is that? 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Route 18. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a really good selection.
Little back, I don't even know if that's how it necessarily got started, but I used to I would post pictures on Instagram of, my craft beer, whatever I was drinking, or like, at breweries or whatever. And I got a follow and I kept getting likes on those posts from an Instagram account of a Discount Drug Mart. And I was like, well, that's weird. And upon further review, I've come to find it was the official account of the one in Medina. I'm like, well, that's not far. So I went out there one day because they'd always post pictures of all that they got in, and they had all this different wild, crazy beer that I've never heard of or seen anywhere around here. So I started going out there, and then, yeah, like the girl who started it was like heading up there purchasing there, and she was like, I wanted to, bring in more craft beers, and she really got that built up. And I don't think that girl even works there anymore because that account is now her personal.
She moved on.
Yeah. It's her personal account now, but like she basically built all that up. So, yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, check it out. Good, lot of stuff there.
They do save you the runaround.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
You know what I mean?
They have all your holiday needs as well.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah. Well, we have all your pop culture headline needs, ladies and gentlemen.
We need a music for that when he says it. Something like that really pops, like bop 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 bop, or
Hey,
Great lead in. Thank you.
I think we found it.
Thank you. So over this past weekend on Sunday, all of us saw the movie Fantastic Four. Most of us together. Nikki went to an earlier show with the family. Then I caught the show with Dean and family and the lovely Allie and lovely Megan and everybody. So that was a nice time. So I just want to start there. So Fantastic Four is doing very well in the box office. It's got a solid certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's doing very well at the box office. It's grossed over. Now this is as of a couple of days ago. We're shooting this on Thursday, July 31st. But at the time here, it had grossed about $227 million since its release on July 25th. And it is surpassing for Disney the 2021 live-action Cruella remake at $225 million. So it's a nice lift for Disney for sure.
Sure.
And compared to the other Fantastic Four movies, it's definitely pacing much better than any of them. There's definitely some hits and misses with the prior Fantastic Four movies. I thought the first couple weren't bad in 2005 and 2007, respectively.
Yeah, I never saw the other one with Michael B. Jordan. I don't think I ever saw that one.
That one was such a that one in 2015 had such poor reviews and word of mouth. I never even bothered to see it. That one only made $56 million domestically and $168 million worldwide. So the new Fantastic Four has obviously already surpassed the entire run of the 2015 movie already. So it's definitely, rebooting those characters in a good way within the, Disney-controlled Marvel Studios now. So just doing well. So I wanted to kind of get your guys' take on the movie. What did you think? So Nick, when we start with you saw it first of all of us
Yeah.
here. So what are your thoughts on the Fantastic Four movie? Even you're not much of a not overly familiar with the characters, perhaps. I don't know, but
I've seen
what do you think?
I've seen what you said, the first two, like the Jessica
Okay.
Alba
Okay.
ones, and the Silver Surfer, I believe, was in the second one of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was really, I mean, this was like the movie that I was really looking the most forward to this summer, just because of the cast, and I also
Mm-hmm.
really like dug visually, like the whole that futuristic kind of mixed with like that 60s kind of style. It just looked really
Mm-hmm.
cool. And so I was really looking forward to it. I was bored. I
Oh.
was so disappointed. Like I was like, man, that was a fart. Like it was like,
Fart
I
and
mean,
shirt.
I didn't like, it wasn't like that sucked. I hated it. It was just like, man, I felt like I was watching like one of the Captain America movies. I just couldn't be moved less. I was just like, nothing happened that I was like, I don't know. It was, I guess I just was expecting so much more because of the cast, because of the build, and I thought this looks like kind of something different, and I think it's time for the Fantastic Four have not previously been brought into
Right.
these Marvel movies in this iteration of it. I was massively disappointed. I was just like, that was just like 2 hours of me just
Parents feel.
that was just 2 hours of me from beginning to end, like emotions never changing, nothing happening, just very like it felt very linear and yeah, I don't know. I was really underwhelmed with it. I didn't expect to be such, and I guess that was the thing too, is like as someone who is not necessarily like a big Superman fan, I was blown away by that movie and I was like, wow. So I don't know if maybe that goes into it. Maybe if I saw it again and took away some expectation, maybe it's different. That I maybe had my sights set a little too high for it. But yeah, I was just kind of like, I think bored is the best way I could summarize. I just was very bored throughout the entire thing. But so yeah, it was just kind of meh for me. Not like I said, there was nothing I could pick out and go, it sucked because of this, or this was bad, or this. It just like nothing. I don't know. It just kind of was very, yeah, just kind of average to me. So
Okay.
but I know you guys liked it, so tell me why.
Dean, what did you think?
All right, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid superhero movie. I think it was below Superman. I think that the problem for me was that I saw Superman first and so close to it. Because Superman, punches you right in the face right out of the gate. It's just, comic book action and all this spectacular storytelling. And then this comes along and wants to tell you like an adult story. They want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that the Fantastic Four has the family element. That's what the comic book is based on, is the family. I get all that, but again, compared to what you just saw, you're watching an adult story in comparative. You know what I mean? It just didn't, like Nick said, it didn't have that oomph. It didn't have the pop. It looked beautiful. The story
Visually, it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't complain about the movie at all. I really enjoyed the movie. If I hadn't seen Superman, I'd have been like, you know what? That was a great fucking movie. That's a great start to this next phase. It gets you excited for what kind of stories they're willing to tell in Marvel going forward. But it was okay. It was a good movie. But it didn't. There were better Marvel movies. Yeah. This was good. It was pretty good.
Yeah. pretty good.
What about you, Brian? What did you think?
I mean, it was definitely an enjoyable movie for sure. Like you said, the effects were, I mean, just incredible. I did like. I mean, you may not even remember, but in the first Fantastic Four movie, that Galactus was a threat,
Sure.
but they never showed Galactus. It was just like a mist. It was very strange. Now, maybe the effects, they didn't have the effects to do it right back then, or they just whatever it was. So that's definitely something that I enjoyed with this is that was the
He looked awesome.
Galactus of the comics. That's it. That's what he looked like. He was a giant being, the exact same outfit, the helmet. That's the classic Galactus that we all know and love in the comics. I did like the storyline of the Surfer. I did like her backstory, how she came to be. That's sort of similar to well, it was pretty in line with the comics. He was he was a male character in the comics. I think he eventually had a female surfer. It doesn't, it's just that's the role of that being. The Herald is to do what she was doing in the movie. I kind of liked her arc. I thought they introduced the characters well, for sure. Like you said, it really the comic is they're all family. Ben Grimm is not related to them, but he's definitely a part of the family, he's part of the team. I did like that element, like you said, throughout it as well. They set up the future stories nicely, right? I guess I was sort of thinking like you, maybe a bigger battle with Galactus,
The ending was
perhaps.
a
It all
little
seems sort of
Yeah,
simple,
not a ton of
kinda.
action. I mean, really, for a superhero movie, there's not much of it spent with battling or anything. It's a lot of talking, which is
they did a
fine.
quick
Like
montage.
I've got no
A lot
problem
of
with like a good drama or something. It's just,
Yeah.
but it's like that's just not. I think that's part of it too. Is when you're like as advertised as a superhero movie. I guess I'm expecting a little more action. I'm a little more.
You're looking for a little more super to the hero.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
But I can see where it's doing well. Like I
Sure.
said, it was like I said in the text to you guys. It was like a very good family type drama that happened to be a superhero movie, kind of. You know what I mean? So I did like how they introduced Franklin Richards. I mean, in the comics, Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe. You don't really know the limit of his powers yet, so they sort of introduced that as well, of course. I would have maybe liked to kind of spoilers a little bit here. I kind of would have liked to have seen Doctor Doom's face. Would have been kind of cool to see Robert Downey Jr. there, perhaps. But whatever.
I think there's a reason for that. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling that there's a reason they're not showing him.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I don't think that he's going to be the Doctor Doom that we all think he is. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just got a weird feeling that it
could be different.
They announced him too easily, and I don't know. It just something's a little fishy to me.
Yeah, I guess we'll see next year, Doomsday movie,
Next December.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw Superman literally 2 days before. So Allie and I went to see Superman on Friday, and saw Fantastic Four on Sunday. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed Superman as well. So, I mean, if action-wise and overall probably enjoyment, I'm probably with you that may have liked Superman a little bit more. But from being a fan of the Fantastic Four as I was a kid and the comics and cartoons and everything, it's definitely a solid movie. Introduced the characters well and all that. Is there an impact to you guys? Is again not his fault. If we were acting, we would take the acting that he's being offered without question in Pedro Pascal. Are we seeing too much of Pedro Pascal? Does that take away anything from him as Reed Richards? Not his performance, but just the fact that we're seeing him in a lot of roles, a Mandalorian, and a lot of different things right now. Last of Us. Is it taking away, or that? No, it doesn't impact your enjoyment of the character or the movie.
No, I read this the other day also that people are tired of Pedro Pascal being in the spotlight. What do you think the fucking 80s and 90s did with
Of course.
movie stars? That's what a
Sure.
movie star does.
The same few do like over and over again. Yeah.
When you
Sure.
get hot, you star in shit. You know what I mean? That's what
Mhm.
you do. That's what movie stars are.
Mhm.
I don't know what their problem is with him. Given that I don't know. He's not done anything different than any other movie star has done in the past of taking good roles and acting the shit out of them.
Sure.
Yeah,
That's where I will say I like Pedro Pascal and I like the things
absolutely.
he does. But I
Mhm.
will say, when I really think about it, I don't know why he's so popular. Is he a good actor? Like, he's not really. I don't know that I've seen him in much where I'm like, man, what a performance. Like, I like him, and there's a likability that is undeniable about him. I think he's probably a very
That's all you need.
pure, honest, great guy, but you don't see his face, and he speaks very monotonely and just delivers lines straight up as the Mandalorian. He's basically the same character without a helmet in The Last of Us. Like, I've thought, and it's, again, this is not me going after, but I'm like, when I really think about it, I'm like, how did we get here with him? Like, why? Like, is he a good actor necessarily, or is he like a guy
the greatest actor, but he's
that is landing roles? Like, I mean, it's odd. It's a little weird, but like
Hollywood chooses, certain people and straps the rocket to their ass and
Sure.
shoots them to the moon, and he's that guy.
Yeah.
Again, solid actor. He did play a good Reed Richards. He had some good dramatic scenes for sure.
He was funny in a not like the way he delivered, because Reed Richards is very straight and to the point and analytical, and the way he would deliver his comedy line. I mean, he was good as the character. I only know one other guy to play the Reed Richards role, but I thought I certainly had no problem with Pedro Pascal as the character. In fact, him being in it and the cast of being all four people who they were. Actually probably know the very least about her, to be honest, but because of who was cast in this movie, why I was so excited about it. I'm like, wow, this is like there's some heavy hitters here. This is pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see why I can't, even though I don't totally get like why he's such a big deal, or that I don't know if he's necessarily a great actor. Like, I don't understand like why he would be a net negative like towards the movie, or why I'd be like, it's enough for him already. Like, he's fine. He's fine.
I tell you who's, for me, the actor who stole that movie every time he was on, the very small amount he was on, he ate up that fucking screen, was Paul Walter Hauser. Played the Mole Man.
Oh, he was good. Yeah,
he's great. I think you should leave.
That was fantastic.
Yep. Stingray from Cobra Kai. Yes, and some other things as well. Yep.
Richard Jewell in that bombing movie.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. I'm going to jump ahead here a little bit. Just looking at the time here. Okay. So obviously Fantastic Four is doing very well. It's a big hit right now. One thing though that's also taking a hit is the world of late night talk shows here, gentlemen, here. So announced recently, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert will be going off the air next year. So it's not being replaced. So Stephen Colbert is not being replaced. They are simply ending the show on CBS, citing financial reasons. You might remember the Late Show, of course, that was something that was started by David Letterman way back in the 80s, and eventually wound up with Stephen Colbert, who's been hosting it for, gosh, I don't even have the year in front of me here, but certainly several years he's been doing that show. So also an odd coincidence, CBS, the parent companies, or Paramount is merging with another company, and they needed to have the approval of Trump and the federal government to go ahead with the merger. So a lot of people are saying, is it really financial reasons, or is there some other reason politically? Because certainly Stephen Colbert is critical of Trump. So when you first heard the news, what do you think? So, Dean, I'm interested. Let's start with you here. Do you feel this is a coincidence? Do you feel there's something more to it? What are your thoughts on Stephen Colbert going off the air in general?
It's a shame. There's two ways to look at this. One, all TV's down. Network TV is just taking a hit. People are watching tablets. People are catching whatever they want to see on their tablets the next day, and late night is no different. All of the revenue is down. You can't sell advertising to people who aren't watching. But with that said, he was the highest rated out of the late night shows. So do I think that financial reasons is correct? Yeah, probably. But where did the decision start? It was probably a lot easier to appease Donald Trump by firing somebody who's been a critic of him, and they can state kind of a soft obvious with the financial reasonings, right?
Yeah, it's an easy way to pass it off. Yeah.
Right. It's not incorrect. It's not like he's making us billions of dollars, but we have to get rid of him. It's not. It probably isn't. Well, I guarantee you, it's not the financial success that Letterman or any of those people, and it's not because of Stephen Colbert. It is because of the way TV and entertainment and the way we watch and enjoy entertainment is at its current state. Yeah. But with the tablets and the iPads and the computers and stuff, network TV is just going to change. Hopefully it stays around. That's where it's got to start, right?
Yeah. Who knows? We're in a different time now, and like you said, it's just the way it's consumed is not the same. So, but those things will always exist. Like people that have opinions and brains, and are going to be critical at low-hanging fruit. It's going to fucking happen, whether it's happening on television or it's happening in any other form of media that you choose to consume.
Fruit.
Yeah, it's it's going to happen either way, but it's I don't know. I like Dean said though, it's a little column A, little column B. It's an easy way to pass it off and go, well, the ratings are down. Well, yeah, the ratings are all down because, like you said, it's just people aren't watching TV. The amount of people, it's actually odd to me when I meet someone that talks that they still have cable, and I know you both do, and it's not like it, but it's just weird. I haven't had cable in over a decade, and I don't know that many people that do anymore. So it's kind of one of those things, and also those late night formats. It's much easier to consume in little snippets. I don't know the last time I sat down and watched one. I watch I'll watch John Oliver's show on Max if you have Max or whatever, and some Bill Maher every now and again. I like the Daily Show, but oh man, 98% of the time that I'm seeing it, I'm consuming it in snippets and pieces online. It's rare, and it does happen every now and again, but it's not. None of it is I can't miss it this week. It's the new one's out. I got to watch the episode this week. It doesn't happen like that. If I'm scrolling and looking for something, and I'm like, I'll watch. There's a new one of this. I'll watch the Daily Show, or I'll watch John Oliver or something like that. I just don't think it exists in the same way. So, but that's across the board. That's everybody. That's not just fucking Stephen Colbert. It just so happens to be that he was in a position to where this could happen to him at this point in time.
Yeah, I agree with all that. It does smell like there's a tie to the appeasement of the merger, certainly, but it is hard to argue everything you guys said as far as I used to be avid watchers of late night talk shows for years. But like you said, there's just too much. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to stop. I already said my piece, but back in that time, like, we didn't have the ability to just see snippets and clips, so like you had to watch
Yeah.
the show, and I
Right.
never
Mhm.
fucking missed Conan. Like, I love Conan, that was my guy,
Mhm.
and I would always watch Conan. But now, if Conan was still on in the same capacity, I'd be watching him like I'm watching Jon Stewart or anybody else. It's like I'd be seeing it in the same way.
Yeah.
My guy
I mean,
was Letterman.
yeah,
In high
sure.
school, every night that was he was part of my going to sleep routine was watching David
Sure.
Letterman.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but even then, it was so different. Even that wasn't even that long ago, and it was just so different, And plus, frankly, it's late. I mean, there's not many people that want to stay up and start a show at 11:30 at night, necessarily. Especially if you grew up watching that. We're all getting older, and it's just you don't want to stay up that late necessarily watching a live television show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Who was your guy, Jack Parr?
no, I was a Letterman.
Oh,
Big
okay.
Letterman.
Sorry.
I mean, as a kid, I did like Johnny Carson. I used to watch Johnny Carson a lot as a kid, and then when Letterman came along, that was just like I said before, that was my dad and I show, for many years, So, but yeah, just to, I mean, Stephen Colbert he'll still be around. I would have to. I can't imagine he won't have
He'll have
a
another show.
podcast and maybe even something on some network or something. Somebody I would have to imagine will pick him up and try to do something with him just because of the fact that he must be a draw, obviously.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
with the highest rated talk shows, so some people will definitely tune into him.
I could see one of these streaming services like
Sure.
Netflix or something being like, hey, we'll give you we'll give you a show that basically do the same thing. Bring your writers, do that show, call it something a little bit different, and do it here.
Look at the talent of the man. He spent over a decade portraying a character as a host with the Colbert Report. After the Daily Show, he spent a decade where people thought he was this blowhard right-wing moron all those years. So when he went to this, people are like, "Holy shit, he's an actual, he's actually a smart guy, and he's not that buffoon character that he played." But I mean, that's how good and talented he is.
That's right.
At his feet.
Well, a show that some say is irrelevant is definitely getting a lot of social media buzz right now. South Park has come back, gentlemen, with its 27th, picking up this 27th season,
which is ironically on Paramount.
That's right. That's right. So they got like a 1.3 billion deal to stream South Park there exclusively, and like 50 episodes also on Comedy Central or something like that. Just amazing. And what's getting a lot of the buzz right now is they have just really been making a lot of fun of Donald Trump. So those that's been a fan for quite a while, which I know the three of us have been fans throughout the years. Saddam Hussein was portrayed as a character dating Satan. They did that in the South Park movie, which is fabulous. And they took the exact same character, the exact same voice, exact same look. He just had now it's Trump's head on the body, basically. Same deal. Dating Satan and everything else, and making fun of him, making fun of his appendages and so forth. So they really went after Donald Trump in the first episode, and the second episode they purposely now pushed it out. It was going to be this week. They pushed it to next week. I think probably let the buzz continue for a little bit. I'm imagining.
Ride that for a little bit.
Yeah. So, did you see that episode? What are your thoughts on South Park continuing to just have no holds barred and the whole thing? So, Nick, did you see it? What did you think?
Yeah, I watched it the day after. It was like last Friday. It was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I was actually a little bit surprised at how far they went at the very end with the commercial. With the AI. That was wild. I was pretty shocked by that. It's really saying something when a show like South Park, all these years later, season 27, can still find a way to kind of shock you. I thought that was pretty good. So, I love it. That show's always been. They're never going to stray away from what's making someone uncomfortable or someone higher than them telling them how to operate or what to do. made an entire career of plainly not giving a fuck, and they're not going to start giving a fuck now. So my hat's off to them. Yeah, it was pretty good. Like there's been times in my life where South Park was really up there, and I watched it a lot. And I will say, in the last probably 10 or so year span, I really haven't watched it as faithfully as I might check out an episode here or there, but it's kind of fallen off. Yeah, I mean, I'll be watching every episode this season for sure. I feel like they wrote me back in here, so I'm back on board like fully. So that'll be one that I am making sure that I'm watching each and every week.
Mm-hmm. Dean, did you see it?
I didn't watch it, but I seeing, like you'd said, some of the clips of it, and just knowing the reports of like how mad Donald Trump is. I'm definitely going to watch that episode, and like Nick said, I probably will start watching the season because of it.
Yeah. It's a weird place to be, right? Because, and also I will say, like, I've had Paramount Plus. Robin subscribed to it a few years ago, basically to watch the Browns during football season. That's really why we have it. We don't watch a lot on it. We don't use it very much. So I was like, when all this stuff come up, I was like, yeah, you know what? We could cancel it. Like, we're not going to miss it. But then it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I'm like, well, now if I want to watch South Park, I have to have that. I'm not going to be able to watch it on anything else. It used to be on Max. They had the HBO contract, but now that they signed with Paramount, I believe I looked the other. Max still has up to, like, they have 26 seasons, but they won't have any new ones. So if you want to watch back catalog,
watch it on Paramount. That episode.
Yes. Yeah, it's on Paramount. Yeah, I don't think you can see it. I don't know about it anywhere else.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I think it's an exclusive contract now. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that show. It's those guys. I like the fact that we're going to say whatever we want to say. We're going to do whatever we want to do. I love the fact that they still put it on television, and it's not like they don't make fun of. They make fun of anything and everything.
Right.
That's relevant in the news. That's what they're going to make fun of, and they dare you to say something about it. And I love the fact that the executives and people just stay. It seems like they just stay out of the way. And they've been doing that for years and years and years. When it was a Comedy Central, all those years. I have not.
There's a documentary about them making South Park.
That's great.
Kind of the day in the life. And the reason they're able to do it is because, Family Guy, Simpsons, it takes them months for months and months to get one episode complete. And
they just crank it out.
Literally does it in a week. And like they showed like the show, well, not the showrunner as in like running the show, but like the guy who actually takes the episode and gets it to the network by Friday or whatever the thing. Like there's a deadline. He has to like curry the episode that they cut and everything. It's really, search out for it. It's a really cool documentary.
Okay. Yeah, because you're right. I mean, something happens in the news, and it seems like the very next week, even they're making fun of it, whatever it is.
Yeah,
which makes the show that much more appealing. So, well, hey, good for them. Keep it coming. And I'm with you, Nick. I've kind of lost touch a little bit here and there, but every time I go back and watch, it's still great. It's still well written and smart comedy, and it's just great stuff. So yeah, keep it up. Good stuff. So we talked about the Fantastic Four earlier, guys. We mentioned Superman. We talked about Superman last week in more detail. So we have two big blockbuster summertime movies, superhero movies, in Superman and the Fantastic Four, both doing very well, both on pace to make over $500 million and then some. So let's talk about superhero movies for a second here. So we'll get into our Ask an Idiot question of the week. It's very simple. Are we seeing sort of a mini resurgence of superhero movies with the box office? Is it just the summertime and people are going to movies again a little bit more? Or is it simply we just happen to have two good superhero movies, where some of the superhero movies over the past have been a little bit hit and miss. Not that they're not some enjoyable movies, but are these simply just two better than average superhero movies that are out there getting good word of mouth? So, Dean, why don't we start with you again? So, what are your thoughts?
I don't think it is just random. Oh, they happen to be two superhero movies. I think both studios, Marvel and DC, DC putting this whole new DCU together.
Mhm.
And getting the correct people behind it, and I think the MCU kind of stepped back and realized some of their mistakes and tried to course correct. And apparently they've done so, and I think that's what we're looking at is both studios getting their shit out and getting their shit together and going, okay, we've got it now. This is what we have. This is the beginning of us getting our shit together. And I'd like actually to put a little asterisk in there and say that for Marvel, I'd say it started with the Thunderbolts. I thought that fucking movie was fantastic. I thought it was a great kind of a step forward.
Is that Black Widow's family thing? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And where it ended up being the name of the movie, it technically now is the Avengers.
New Avengers,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're back. I think everybody regrouped and got their shit together, figure out what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. And with Kevin Feige and James Gunn, I think they did it, and that's what we're watching this month. Or last month when you're hearing this.
Sure.
Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know that I think that they're back necessarily. I think I would have to see some more movies do well and fare well, and people I think why these two movies are doing so well right now is a combination of a few things. Yeah, it's like summertime, it's people go to the movies, and so you're getting those turnouts. I think the two biggest things is these are brand new versions of these characters in both respects with Superman and Fantastic Four. So people are curious to see what this one looks like. Both characters and superheroes and factions and the like have been done before. So this is a new version of that. And also, I think the other part of it is that they're both known superheroes or superhero groups. These are not side shot little Madam Web, Mr. Marvel family member, whatever. This is Superman and the Fantastic Four. Like they are established, well-known characters in the comic book sphere. So I think that has a lot to do with it. If you're big summer blockbuster, and I haven't seen Thunderbolts, but if it's that, maybe you don't get the turnout for Thunderbolts that you do Fantastic Four, because what is Thunderbolts? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that has a lot to do with
the quality of the movie.
Yeah, right. And like I said, I haven't seen, so I don't mean anything negative toward it, but the name carries weight when you're talking Fantastic Four, Superman, stuff like that. And yeah, I think it's that mixed with the fact that these are both the first versions of each of these characters in film that we've seen. So there's some curiosity around it as well.
Yeah. No,
Both good points. I mean, Thunderbolts, good movie, but you're right. It just doesn't have the same draw as I've seen the movie. I don't know that I could name 4 of the characters right now thinking about it. I could picture them.
Yep.
But I still don't know that I could even name who they are. A huge setup for the future, but you're right. Is it too? So even a casual fan, to your point, Nick, is you know who these characters are, and the curiosity just to check it out. But honestly, I mean, if the movies were bad, they would fall off, right? So they would have poor word of mouth and everything else. So that certainly is continuing to carry those, where people that are going to see them are giving it positive reviews and recommending it to their friends and everything. So certainly contributing to people going. But there's other movies doing well this summer too. So it just seems like there are more people going to the movies than Jurassic Park is doing very well, which I haven't seen. I'm interested. I could probably wait for that to be streaming for me, honestly, at this point. But some of the other movies are doing what? Lilo and Stitch is making a killing.
That was very good.
I mean, that's like $1 billion.
That was very good
for Disney. It's a good family movie, apparently.
What do you consider word of mouth for movies now? Do you consider, Facebook and Twitter is that? Do you consider that word of mouth, or are you talking about like you literally tell your friend how good the movie is?
I'm still there.
Or is this word of mouth? I mean,
I think they're kind of one and the same because if you're talking to people and you have a friend group that goes to see those, that could be still your word of mouth, that very literal sense. But I think a lot of people do see what people are saying online and go, I do it all the time where I'll see 6 or 7 people say something wasn't very good, and then somebody tells me it was, and I'll go, oh really? I've been here, and I've heard a lot of people say like it's not, or that they didn't like it or whatever, even though no, I did not verbally talk to these people, but I'm seeing those opinions of multiple people say this kind of collective thing about it. So I think it's kind of
you saying that tells all 10 of our listeners what you think.
That's right. Yeah,
that's right.
I have an idiot question off of an idiot question for you guys,
sure,
if you would be so kind to oblige. Do you ever think, and I kind of wonder sometimes, do you think that like the MCU with the whole Avengers, the first phase, the Avengers sagas,
the Avengers, look at the Avengers over there.
While they were setting the trend and making history with those movies, did they break the machine at the same time? Like, when will that ever happen again? When will superhero movies ever be what they were during that run?
Yes.
It almost feels impossible to have hit after hit and sequel hit after sequel hit after sequel hit, and then make like a big trilogy of hit movies, combining them all. Like it feels like it's impossible. It's like what an age, like what a golden age of that.
I think it just takes. I think it does. Like all of these movies, it is right people, the right time, the right place. Lightning in a bottle, and they have the formula. It's just getting the right actors in the roles in the right story.
Yeah. But did they use all the? I mean, they went through the character. Those are the big guns out of the gate.
Yeah.
Now you're going off a side. You're going off a secondary. You're going off of like kind of offshoots and different kind of.
But like with Fantastic Four, you still have the whole X-Men shit you can run through. I mean, those are number one characters. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Fantastic Four are secondary. You have a second crop that's ready to have their story be told.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvel's going to be on a tear for a while. I mean, think about what's coming up here. You're going to have the next Spider-Man movie. You're going to have Avengers Doomsday with Doctor Doom, and then 2027 you got the Secret Wars, and that's going to be just humongous with all the very different variants of heroes. And then I hear after that they're going to reboot. They're going to reboot the characters, the main characters again, like Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, and then you could. Yeah, the whole variant thing, you could just start, those main characters could come back in different versions, so, and the DC's just starting, of course, and I think that they're seeing that, I don't think we're going to see, get like Marvel's good movie. They shouldn't, that should have just been a TV series, and, this. I don't know. So I think they're going to be more cautious of what they put out there. I think they've definitely learned it's the quality, not the quantity. You put a quality movie out there, get the hype around it, and people will go see it. You're going to make yourself, a lot of money, So,
yeah.
Anyway.
But yes, word of mouth is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, because of this podcast alone, the 2 more people in Brazil.
Yeah,
I've just gone to see the Fantastic Four just based on this podcast alone.
Yeah. They tell their friend tells their friend, and before you know it, this podcast is blowing up.
15 listeners strong.
That's right. That's right. See, it's doubled already.
Yeah,
doubled already.
And I'm more excited for them to hear Brian's dulcet tones than I am that they know to save money with Blake Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he wants a hug for this. God damn it, I'll give it to you. Gentlemen, the Blake Insurance Group is an independent agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. Let me tell you, they're offering personal care and support for all of your insurance needs. If you need auto, home, business, or life insurance, give Aaron a call. He'll treat you with the honesty and respect that you deserve. Call the Blake Insurance Group at 234-571-5359 or find them online at BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, tell them these 3 handsome superheroes sent you.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Good stuff. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with some more superhero-themed content for you.
Ooh.
And that's right. And young Nick's going to tell you all about that right after this.
I like your mustache.
Thank you. I like you back.
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell 2 enemies.
In 5, 4, 3.
Fucking I'm going. And welcome back to Convincing Idiots. I am Millennial Nick alongside Gen X Brian and the Zennial Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing for our... your what?
My nipples.
That's right.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
Yes, because much like our country right now, Dean's nipples are very divided and far apart. But at the end of the day, we are all on the same body, and we need to come together and figure it out, right?
Way to recover. That's good.
Thank you. I can tie it back in. So it is a balancing act, right? Making these segues and tying things together, much like what we're going to talk about here, gentlemen. We're going to be discussing not necessarily superheroes, but rather their alter egos that they have to balance along with being superheroes. So they may be a certain superhero by night, but by day they are simply this person. And we would like to know which iteration of these characters that we like best, which portrayals. So Brian, why don't you go ahead and start us off with your first pick?
I'm going to start with my favorite version of Bruce Wayne. Of course, Bruce Wayne's alter ego of Batman. Michael Keaton, gentlemen. So Michael Keaton, I liked his version of Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne in those couple movies with Michael Keaton, that was him. Bruce Wayne was not trying to play up a version of Bruce Wayne. That was simply him being normal. And of course, he played up the character, his alter ego of Batman. So I like the fact that Michael Keaton recognized that, the house he lived in was ridiculously big and all the wealth and everything. I was just talking to Allie about this scene this evening, but I love the scene when he's on the first date with Kim Basinger in his house in that huge dining room.
That's fun.
And they're sitting at other ends of the table, and she wanted the salt. He had to pick up the salt, walk it down to her.
Right.
And then she's like, nice room. And he's just kind of sitting there like, yeah. And he looks around. He's like, you know what? I don't even know. I can't remember. I've been in this room before, something like that. So laughs about it. And they go take their dinner into the kitchen and have a nice intimate dinner at the kitchen table with Alfred. I'm like, that is a regular guy, Bruce Wayne. Michael Keaton played that role of Bruce Wayne so well. And that's what I love about it. So that's it. That's one of my favorite alter ego portrayals. Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne.
Nice. Dean?
All right. I'm going to go a little beaten path here. I'm going to go Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock in the Daredevil series.
Yes.
If you would tell me that, that guy actually isn't blind or actually was blind, I believe you. I think his acting is, just gives it gives that character gravitas, right? He does the he has that tortured, that all kind of the superheroes, all dark superheroes like that have. He's just it's just a perfect portrayal of the angst of like, do I want to be a Daredevil? Do I want to help people? There's a lot of things pulling at him. And I think that actor, Charlie Cox, is the perfect role for him.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm gonna go. This was probably the easiest one for me to come to. Big Spider-Man fan. There have been a few different versions of Peter Parker over the years. When Tobey Maguire was playing Peter Parker, I liked him at the time, and I thought he fit that role pretty well. I really liked Andrew Garfield as the character, but my problem with him was that I felt he was a little too cool to be Peter Parker. Like, Peter Parker is supposed to be kind of like a nerdy, not super self-assured kid, They've got it right now in Tom Holland. There is no better version of Peter Parker, in my opinion. He absolutely nails it. He's quippy enough and witty enough when he needs to be, but he's also very believable as that super brainy kid that isn't always super comfortable in his own skin and is kind of figuring out things as he goes. And I just think he just looks the part. If you were to, show me a Spider-Man cartoon and was like, give me the live version of that, it's going to be a picture of Tom Holland. He looks the part. He plays the part well. He absolutely knocks it out of the park in everything I've ever seen him in as Peter Parker. So Tom Holland is my favorite Peter Parker.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'll go on to Clark Kent. Clark Kent, my favorite portrayal of Clark Kent. I don't even think it's close, in my opinion, to the other roles here. Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent. We talked about this in other episodes too, I know, but Christopher Reeve understood the part of Clark Kent, and it's just, some people say, how could Superman be among people working day to day and just with a pair of glasses and people not recognize it's Superman? That's how you could do it if you played it up like the Clark Kent version that Christopher Reeve did. He's clumsy. He's not confident. He's very nerdy. He's unsure of himself. Even his posture he's slouching.
The perfect example, Brian, was that scene where he was about to tell Lois who he was, and he's confident. Lois, that's Superman. The shoulders are up, and then as soon as he thinks different of him, he just, his posture and his face just change, and like you see the same actor in the same clothes and stuff change from Superman to Clark Kent. It's physical, like you could tell he probably went to some sort of like clown school, mime school or something to gain that, whatever that acting ability is, just in the body language.
Yeah, you're right. That one scene, he stands up, he takes the glasses off, and like you said, just the last second, he puts the glasses on, and he slouches back down with it
into Clark Kent. It's like he just falls into him. That scene alone is just fucking shows how good he was.
Absolutely. He's not confident. He's very nerdy. He's unsure of himself. Even his posture he's slouching.
The perfect example, Brian, was that scene where he was about to tell Lois who he was, and he's confident. Lois, that's Superman. The shoulders are up, and then as soon as he thinks different of him, he just, his posture and his face just change, and like you see the same actor in the same clothes and stuff change from Superman to Clark Kent. It's physical, like you could tell he probably went to some sort of like clown school, mime school or something to gain that, whatever that acting ability is, just in the body language.
Yeah. You're right. That one scene, he stands up, he takes the glasses off, and like you said, just the last second, he puts the glasses on, and he slouches back down with it.
Into Clark Kent. It's like he just falls into him. That scene alone is just fucking shows how good he was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of the oversized suit to hide the muscles a little bit, and this and that. That's how
That's why
I picture
wear
Superman.
oversized clothes.
Of course, there's no other reason.
Mm-mm.
But that's how I picture Superman if he was truly living among humans. That's how he views the average human, as unconfident, anxious, everything else, and he would blend right in, and you wouldn't even think about it. So, tremendous acting by Christopher Reeve. Love that version of Clark Kent, and makes you miss Christopher Reeve to this day when you go back and think about how well he played both Clark Kent and Superman, for that matter. So,
Absolutely.
yep. All right, what else you got, Dean? Go ahead.
I'm going to, because I assumed that's where you would go, Brian. So I'm going Superman as well, but I agree with you on the Christopher Reeves, but I'm going to take another path on this and say this new David Cornsweet kid does a damn fine job as Clark Kent.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you the same kind of scene that kind of sold me on this was the interview scene where him and Lois were in the apartment giving the interview, where he, that different voice, and then but through that interview when he is switching up and talking to her as Clark and Superman, there is the same voice and posture thing happening, and it's also happening multiple times if you notice. And he kind of has that fumbling still. I like the hair in the face like the today's kids wear. That gives a modern touch to it. Right?
Today's kids wear.
What? That my fucking son has the same haircut as Clark Kent in the new Superman movie. He wears the exact same. Actually, he put my glasses on and thought it was funny and took a picture. And he looks fucking same as that Cornsweet kid. He's got fucking hair in his face.
I have a few things to add on to that. First of all, I had him down on my list as well.
Okay.
Because like I said, I've seen one other Superman movie ever, so I don't have a frame of reference to match him up to other Supermen. But I did appreciate what you just said. This was from the different versions of Superman to Clark Kent. It was the most different. When I was like, oh, because like Brian said, how can you? He doesn't wear a mask. How does people not see he's got a fucking same face as Superman? But I did see in that movie when he's just a fucking tree of a man. He's in the one scene where he's walking, he's so much taller than everybody, but because I'm in that moment with his hair over his face and he's kind of you're like, okay, it's believable that you would not recognize that's Superman lost in the crowd, because he is kind of not disguised, but he's hiding himself a little more than what I've seen other in film people try to attempt to do with Superman. So I really like that. I thought he was really good. I thought, like you said, he was he did that. He kind of gave you a different vibe when he was Clark Kent. You could feel that. And my last thing on it is not related to the conversation at all, but rather, is his last name pronounced Cornsweet?
That's what I've heard.
I think it's Cornsweet.
Okay, because I was going to say it Cornsweet because I'm I'm personally choosing not to believe his last name is pronounced Cornsweet. No. Because every time I hear somebody say it, I'm like, that can't be that fucking guy's name.
Cornsweet? Is that how?
Okay. That's how it's spelled anyway.
Cornsweet or something like that. Where but Cornsweet, I'm like, I've heard somebody. I think you guys, maybe you and Robin were saying it when we went to see it, and I'm like, Cornsweet? Not that guy. Is it really? So again, that's not related. That's not related to the character, but I did think he did a really good job. I was impressed.
All right, good.
But were you done? I'm sorry. Were you done on your Superman elaboration? Okay. Good. I figured while we were on the topic, I'm like, I'll pile on with that. Because he did a really good job. And like I said, that scene specifically, I was like, it makes sense to me in this how you could. Yeah. And even though he doesn't wear a mask,
he was still doing it. He was still giving the differences that you could tell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So was that your next?
He was one of mine. So do you want me to keep? Do you want me to stay in step with you guys and go to Brian, or do you want me to go with another one?
I don't care.
We'll go to Brian and because that was one of mine. So
sure,
that's fine. So I'll sort of do. I mean, I had Cornsweet
on my list too.
Hashtag Cornsweet. Yeah.
Boy,
It is,
it's hot
just
out
for the
here.
record, it is spelled Corenswet. 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 I like to dance with it a little bit and say Corenswet. I think that's good.
Corenswet.
I think that's what it
Corenswet.
is. Yeah.
David Corenswet.
Well, I'll add on to a prior one Dean had as well. I had Charlie Cox, also Matt Murdock. I think all the. I mean, there's not many comparisons. Certainly, you had Ben Affleck in the one movie. Yeah, so but still, Charlie Cox really owned that role to where similar to other, like. Robert Downey is Tony. It'd be very difficult to picture anybody else playing Matt Murdock now in any capacity. And like you said, Dean, that the acting with him, he clearly has had to. He was practicing looking blind. I mean, when he's looking at people across from him, he's found a way not to focus. There's no eye contact,
Right.
with them. I mean, he's purposely looking somewhere else or what have you. Like you say, it's very believable as a blind person, and just plays, like you said, that tortured person very well. Like you could picture somebody in that situation where he's tortured on, he wants to be with his friends, he wants to form relationships, but then he has to keep a certain distance because he doesn't want people to get hurt, and
Right.
they're worried about him and this and that. And then just the fact that he's just, he looks beat up, he acts beat up, and that's exactly what someone would be if you were a person without superpowers like him getting beat up, you'd be in pain. And just great. And then just the scenes in the courtroom. You take those scenes in the courtroom as well, where he's a very good lawyer and debating and all that stuff is great as well. So just an absolutely perfect role. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, great job by Charlie Cox.
And you got to bang the She-Hulk, so good for him.
Yeah, that's the low point in that character. Certainly not his fault, but
Right.
I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't keep going down that wacky direction like they thought they were going to take him for a minute. That they were wise enough to rewrite that series and make it more like the original Netflix series, which is 1,000% better. So,
oh yeah.
He banged the She-Hulk. That's a thing.
Yeah.
In the She-Hulk miniseries, he had a cameo there for a couple episodes, and they dated for a minute. So it's just very odd.
Okay.
He did the walk of shame outside of her apartment, carrying his superhero costume under his arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was silly.
It's strange.
All right.
So that's actually real. That's not a joke. That happened.
No, that happened on the She-Hulk series.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, you got to see him in the yellow version of the suit temporarily, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just anyway. Yeah. Go ahead, Dean. What else? What's the next one you got?
All right. I'm going to go with Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner.
Very good.
I know he, your guys' version of that, of this list is that you're hiding it, but I didn't get that memo, or understand that part, so I went with Bruce Banner, played by Mark Ruffalo.
That's okay.
There's been other Bruce Banners out there, through TV, and one was David, but still, still the same character. I think Mark Ruffalo gives not just like this, Bruce Banner, but like anything he does, he just gives a general likability. He probably doesn't need to say shit. You just put him on screen and you like him. He has one of those. He has that Pedro Pascal likability to him. And he has the vulnerability and the fear in any time he spoke as Bruce Banner, there was that fear of the Hulk kind of behind him, and I think he portrayed that well of just the underlying fear just on a regular basis. And I think Mark Ruffalo is such a fantastic actor that he pulled it off no problem. So Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, the Hulk.
Absolutely did. Yeah, that's a good one. My next pick is not necessarily a superhero per se, but certainly has gifts and uses his for the most part for good when that comes about. Gotta go ahead and get my my Venom pick in here. His only competition was going up against Eric Foreman from that '70s show and Topher Grace. So as far as the bar, it wasn't hard to beat it. But Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock is exactly what I wanted. I don't even know how aware of Tom Hardy I was before the Venom movies started. I know he was in, like The Dark Knight or he was Bane and stuff. But upon seeing that first movie, he was absolutely everything I wanted. He was what Eddie Brock needed to be. He was charismatic. He was witty. He was a bulky guy.
It's weird. It's like you're describing me. That's strange. That's strange.
But he totally brought what I needed as a fan of the character in the comics and animated things, and he is what I needed a live action version of Eddie Brock to be, and he's just nailed it spectacularly. And I'm just so happy that we've had those movies and that he's been able to carry on that character. I hope he continues to. I don't know how likely that is if they carry on and cross over with the Sony version of Venom into whatever they use him for in the future. But I just really pray that they keep Tom Hardy as a part of it, because I love his version of Eddie Brock.
Absolutely.
Good. Very good.
Brian.
All right. Well, you talked about Peter Parker earlier, Nick. My favorite Peter Parker, though, Tobey Maguire. Man, you mentioned his name, so
yeah, he was a very good one. He really was.
I'm with you. Tom Holland is a fantastic modern Peter Parker. Not taking anything away from it, like you say, he plays the role extremely well. And there's probably some sentimental to Tobey Maguire as well. You think back when those movies came out. Now these are before you think back. These are before the Marvel. This is before Iron Man and everything else.
Oh, yeah. This is like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, this is like they're putting Spider-Man on the big screen here. Let's not mess it up. And man, as we know, those first two movies were just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Sam Raimi just
watched the same movie, but that's fine.
Oh man, no, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
those first two are they're incredible.
As a kid growing up, as such a Spider-Man fan, reading the comics, I had Spider-Man everything. Spider-Man on my posters and toys, and he was just it for me. Just a very relatable character, young, and just it's just super appealing. And Tobey Maguire, they played that role so well. That was the Peter Parker that I remember reading in the comics. The nerdy, very smart, very awkward. And all of a sudden, just that thing happens to him, and he's still the nerdy kid trying to find his way with these superpowers. It's like, oh man, just the way he did it was so good. So happy to see him come back and reprise the role. And he's going to continue to have a big role. I understand these rumors anyway. As you get into Secret Wars and everything, he's supposed to have a prominent role in that as well, if the rumors are true. But just very well done. And if those movies don't do well, it may not set up other superhero movies, which eventually got to Iron Man and everything else. So that's it. So close. It's very, very close between him and Tom Holland. It really is.
And when you even said about him being awkward, I'm like, even that, like Tom, if you've got a scale, if you got the nerdometer, Andrew Garfield's not nerdy at all. Tom Holland is much closer to it. But yeah, like even if you're going with that angle with it, like Tobey Maguire was very believable as that nerdy, awkward, like even more so than Tom Holland even. But I mean, like you said, those first two movies, the second one, even for me specifically, I think was my favorite one with Dr. Octopus.
Yes.
That movie was fantastic. It really was good. And at a time when sequels you weren't expecting a lot from a sequel, that one was like, that was better than the last one. Like, it was really good.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
They're going to put those in the theater again later this year, all three of them.
Oh, are they? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All three, though, huh? Even the third?
I would, it'd be fun to go back and rewatch them on the big screen. It really would.
Yeah.
I did it just recently, just for the first one. and I did not care for it.
Yeah.
At all. Like, it's a horrible movie.
That's great. That's weird. Yeah.
Just the worst acting. Fuck, it was awful.
Macho Man was in it and everything.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yep. All right, Dean. What's the next one you got?
Trying to shake Hulk Hogan's hand like this than what he did in that movie. All right, so we need some estrogen.
So you're not doubling up on Tobey Maguire then, or?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm going the female route, boys. Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff.
Okay.
The Black Widow is when she's in Black Widow form or whatnot, and she's a badass from the first fight scene in the hallway where she's just beating the shit out of like 10 dudes. That's awesome.
Mhm.
But when she's not doing that and she's just Natasha Romanoff, I give you what was it, the Endgame, just where she's trying to keep the Avengers alive, and she's just strung out and it's her wit's end. That sort of vulnerability I love to see in acting, especially when it's not not necessarily what that character is known for. When she's breaking legs and snapping necks, and then you get to see her, her vulnerable side and her leadership side in that. So I enjoyed. I enjoy Scarlett Johansson in anything she does, but I really enjoyed her as Natasha Romanoff.
Pretty good.
Nice. For my next one, I'm gonna make my Batman pick now, my Bruce Wayne. This was hard. I've got 3 different names written down, and I only just recently finally came down on the one, and it is for Bruce Wayne, and it's probably an unpopular pick because he is certainly not people's favorite Batman. But as Bruce Wayne and the version of Bruce Wayne that he was representing to us, I absolutely thought Ben Affleck was an incredible Bruce Wayne.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
He had the misfortune of being in some god-awful movies as Batman.
Yep.
But when he was as Bruce Wayne, and whether it be, taking on assembling the Justice League, or even in Batman versus Superman, when you talked about, I believe it was the guy that played Daredevil, about like, it was believable that he would be beat up, and you get a lot of those scenes of Ben Affleck as Batman when he's just beat the shit up, and he's a regular guy with some cool armor and suits and gadgets, but he's a regular dude under there getting the absolute shit kicked out of him. And I just really liked Ben Affleck as that kind of
I agree,
that weathered veteran Bruce Wayne. And he was established enough to seem experienced in what he was doing, but also realistic enough and down to earth enough in the kind of comic relief that he brought to those roles as well. Like I said, not a fan of those movies that he was ever Batman in as films, but him as Bruce Wayne, the character, I thought he fit it.
In his own Batman movie.
It would have been interesting. Yeah, I would have liked that. I would have liked that. If you put Ben Affleck in a style of film that was that of like the Batman, that who also he's a young Bruce Wayne, so I don't really think of him in that way. But there again, Robert Pattinson. Super impressed with what I was not hyped when they announced him, but I was super impressed. But I thought Ben Affleck was a great one. Little side shout out to as Bruce Wayne. I've always liked Val Kilmer in both of those sides of the role, but Christian Bale I thought specifically I did not like as Batman, but I did like as Bruce Wayne. So I had both of them written down, and at different times in the day they were going to be my pick. And then as I thought about it more, I'm like, you know what? I keep writing off Ben Affleck because of the movies he was the character in weren't very good. However, I thought if we're talking specifically about him in that role as that character of Bruce Wayne, I love Ben Affleck.
Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man was like Shakespeare compared to Christian Bale in any of those Batman movies.
No, that's not true.
I thought he did well as I thought he was cool, but he was also kind of reserved, and I just thought he did that balance really well. I mean, I don't think he was enough of he didn't pass off the socialite aspect of it as naturally as some of the other ones did for me, but I thought he served well as he struck you as somebody who, like, your parents died young and you have money and you're just kind of cold to people and awkward, and
he was a bad actor.
Well, but his I liked his version. He was almost my pick too, Nick. He portrayed Bruce Wayne as also a character. That was not.
Yes, he spent a lot of the time out of the suit.
Neither Batman nor Bruce Wayne was actually him. He was probably closer to Batman than Bruce Wayne. So Bruce Wayne was almost more of an alter ego than Batman for Christian Bale. So he purposely played off the ridiculous playboy showing up with two girls and flying a helicopter in and driving the fancy car to make it throw you off that like he couldn't possibly be Batman because he's such a playboy idiot.
Right.
He got those quiet moments, like the whole speech about Harvey Dent and things like that. He said that was more, the true Bruce Wayne, I guess, if you will. But then he purposely played up the playboy, drunken, buying the restaurants and dating the ballerina. It's all a cover.
Yeah.
His Bruce Wayne was a cover for him being, his true self of Batman, which was an interesting take.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Okay, one you guys probably don't have on your list here, but guy played this role for several years on television. Great version of Barry Allen, who's the alter ego of The Flash, Grant Gustin from the Flash television show. If you haven't watched that, I recommend. I don't even know where it is right now. It's on the CW. I don't know if you can find it on streaming. I don't even know, but it was on for like 9 seasons, something like that. I was an avid watcher of that show.
I do remember that.
Yeah, it's great.
Within the last, it's probably like 15 years ago
2023
or so.
Went off the air. Just a couple years ago. But they had the Arrow and they had the Flash, right? So and both were solid, right? But his version of Barry Allen, just fantastic. Again, he's just a regular dude that happened to get those powers, and it was a whole similar type of deal. Young guy struggling. Is the whole conflict of, I guess, friends knew who he was. Right. But just, I don't know. I just thought that he portrayed a young guy with that sense of responsibility and everything that he had going as the Flash and, trying to protect his family and everybody from, do I get too close? Do I don't? It's that whole angle as well. But just a very solid actor. When some people have called for him to come back and reprise the role of the Flash in the new DCU, I don't know if he'll get that opportunity or not. But whether he does or doesn't, he had a fine body of work in the Flash television show for several years. And, his portrayal, I'm sure, is one reason why it stayed on the air for as long as it did. Right. So check that out. Very, very good. I don't like the other. Who's the guy in the movies that played him?
Ezra Miller.
Yeah. And that's okay. That's just too goofy for me. I mean, I like Grant Gustin was more of a confident, regular guy version of the Flash. I liked his portrayal. So that's it. So that's my top 5 anyway for me. Dean, what do you got?
All right, for my number 5, I saved the best for last. If you're thinking in an alter ego, if you're thinking of the coolness and the debonair, suave, sophistication. Sophistication is the key word in this. He portrays the art of sophistication in anything he does, especially when he's Bruce Wayne. Boys, I'm talking about George Clooney as Bruce Wayne. George Clooney is the definition of cool. He is Bruce Wayne. What?
Nick even hung up the phone. So upset.
His Batman wasn't the best. I'll agree, but as a Bruce Wayne, you put him in a tuxedo, and he is George Clooney in a fucking tuxedo. He is a playboy, the ultimate playboy.
Mhm.
So I say the best last because he was the best Bruce Wayne.
Yep. Were you upset, Nick? Is that why you hung up the phone?
I just couldn't listen to the propaganda of George Clooney, and no. There's a guy at work that fucks me all the time because he knows how much I hate. I've made, like, since that movie came out, I've spent the majority of my life disliking George Clooney the man because of that movie. Like, I don't I refuse to watch George Clooney movies that aren't him as Batman. I don't want anything to do with George Clooney because of that movie and
It's
him
not his
as
fault.
Batman. It's not because the movie. Well, I actually hated him as, like, there's something about he's not likable as the the whole thing was just yuck, and he's just I'm like, he's not even. But you're right. That's part because that was one of my gripes too. I'm like, he's not acting. He's not an actor.
Right.
That's just him. That's just George Clooney. He's just George Clooney.
And you thought, George Clooney is
Batman. As Bruce Wayne. Yeah. No.
Bruce Wayne. Shit, Batman. It was awful movie, but as Bruce Wayne, you just show me a picture and you go, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and there again, like you said, it's not really because even the same. I mean, even as Bruce Wayne, the dialogue between him and Chris O'Donnell, everything that was said, I'm like, it all just gave me a big old fat case of the icks, just all cringe. It was all just terrible, and he didn't seem. He certainly was not any type of tortured. As a Bruce Wayne, you didn't see that like
tortured
dark
being
side of him. They're just I was not a fan. I dislike George Clooney because of the Batman role.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guess we're standing on opposite sides of that.
That we are there. That we are.
Okay.
What about his humanitarian work? No, fuck you.
Whatever. Fuck that. No.
Terrible Batman.
He can go fuck himself wherever in Venezuela or wherever the fuck he's doing. Fucking Ethiopia. I don't give a fuck. He can stay there. Fuck that.
He saved so many children.
Except for the ones that had to watch him as fucking Batman. Those are war crimes. Though that is a crime against humanity.
Wow. Just a shame.
And for my final pick, I am going to be this next one. He's had no competition in the role, but there never needs to be any other competition in the role, which is going to be hard to do going forward. But T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, King T'Challa was he was another one where they just knocked it right out of the park first try. I didn't know much of Chadwick Boseman going into Black Panther, but not only did he represent the character, the superhero well, but he certainly gave you the vibe that I would imagine they were going for in his not alter ego. I mean, who he was King of Wakanda, T'Challa, who was the leader that anybody would want, right? Like, just overall very decent, very noble. Just very genuine and caring, like loyal and was a warrior and would do whatever it took to do right by his people. He was such an incredible version of T'Challa and the Black Panther that I just felt like there's just nobody that really there's nobody that even going forward. I mean, as if they go in, I mean, sure, there's always people out there. Someone will do the role justice, but there will only be one version of him like that, and I think he'll always be everyone's default T'Challa in their mind. So Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, gone way too soon. Just an incredible job. So that's my 5.
Good. That's everybody's 5.
It is. 5s are in.
5 it is.
Honorable mentions, Dean.
Just want to bring up George Clooney one more time. So good.
Please, can I just do an hour on how good George Clooney is in that role? Please. I had actually a lot of my honorable mentions were kind of an argument of some of the ones I had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I went back and forth with Christopher Reeves. Obviously, Christopher Reeves is my number one, but I thought you'd pick him, Brian. So I, tried to go a little outside. If it wasn't for me trying to stir the pot, my Batman would have been Ben Affleck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's two the ones where I was going back and forth on.
Okay. Nick, do you have any honorable mentions?
Mine, we basically knocked all mine out in conversation when we went over the
Okay.
different,
Yeah.
Batman, Spider-Man, and all that stuff. So, yeah.
I have two going all the way back to 1970s TV series. How about Diana Prince, the great Linda Carter,
Linda
the
Carter.
beautiful Linda Carter.
She was mentioned.
And Gal Gadot was a great Wonder Woman. I don't remember her really playing Diana Prince. I don't even know if she played her at all. Maybe
she did. Remember in
briefly?
the war scenes because she had right.
Maybe that's right.
No, maybe she came in as.
I don't really recall a lot of her.
It wasn't enough to even really remember. In the TV series, Linda Carter had plenty of portrayals as Diana Prince, where I can't remember what she was working as, like for the military or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but anyway, a fine alter ego. And Bruce Banner also in the great Bill Bixby, the version of the Incredible Hulk television show. Bill Bixby, fine actor, just a different version of course, like you say, it was David Bruce Banner because they couldn't fucking handle naming a guy Bruce because it sounded too gay, perhaps, for television, which is ridiculous. I don't know what the reasoning was, which is, that's the truth, unfortunately.
See, I heard it was a dispute, like a contract, like they didn't have the rights or something like that.
Really? It was Incredible Hulk.
I could very well have my information wrong, but
What was
anyway,
too gay for TV? What was it exactly?
So Bruce Banner is the name. That's the name of the character.
Yeah, right.
On television, they couldn't handle calling him Bruce. Somebody didn't like the name Bruce, so they called him David, and Bruce was his middle name, David Bruce Banner, on the TV show, which is ridiculous. But anyway, his version of David.
Somebody that was able to make decisions at the television company had some unresolved issues with someone.
I'm sure. I'm sure that's what it was.
The name Bruce is just too gay.
What are you talking about? The guy's name was Bruce Banner. You can't have a guy named Bruce on TV. What are you, nuts? I'll just have his middle name. That's it.
But anyway. Bruce Wayne was, Batman's name was Bruce.
That's true. That is true.
And America's athlete, the straightest man ever, Bruce Jenner, was named Bruce.
Yes. Well, anyway, Bill Bixby's version of fine acting. He was a great actor anyway. And, again, same type of deal. Tortured, really trying to keep his cool. He'd get angry. He knew he had to keep it calm. Tortured soul, roaming town to town, trying to
up and down.
So just a great version of Bruce Banner for sure. So that's it. That's what I got. Go ahead.
So I just threw into the Google machine.
Go ahead.
In the TV, The Incredible Hulk, 1978, the protagonist David Banner instead of Bruce Banner because CBS thought the name Bruce sounded too gay.
Interesting.
There you go. See,
both Stan Lee and Lou Ferrigno confirmed that rumor. Wow, that's
weird executives at the time.
Take that, guys out there named Bruce.
Yep.
They're questioning your manhood, sexuality. I don't even know what that is.
Right. That's right.
Interesting. Okay. Never heard that.
If your name is Bruce, we appreciate you listening. We don't care what the hell.
How gay your name sounds.
Come on, Bruce. All you Bruces.
You can have the gayest name in the world. It could be Bruce or something even gayer if you can imagine it. We're fine with it.
That's right. That's right. Gentlemen.
Yeah.
We have done it.
We've done a lot of
it
things.
again. Yes.
Maybe not all the things that someone named Bruce would do, but we've done a lot of things. That's so why I can't get past like what? Why is that Bruce? It's just another dude's name. Like what?
Like what name do you hear that go? No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Leslie, maybe.
I will not let you defame the good goddamn name of Leslie
I'm
Nielsen.
just saying, if you want to go that route and
That
be
was
like,
the
I mean,
manliest of men.
you could take
Mhm.
a name like a Leslie and be like, wow, you're a man named Leslie? That's odd.
Mhm.
Like, that sounds feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's gay. It just means like that's such that, like, but Bruce wouldn't probably make the first 50 names I could think of, 100 names I could think of that I'd be like,
Yeah, me and the
Hmm.
boys are gonna go out tonight. You know, it's me, Chuck, and Francine. We're all gonna hit the town.
yeah, interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Bruce's and Bob's and Bill's and Francine's and Michelle's alike.
Mm-hmm.
We are Convincing Idiots, and we thank you for sticking around for this episode if you have done so. And if you've not done so, be sure to find us on social media accounts by going to Google and typing in Convincing Idiots Linktree. You can find all those links, and be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and interact with us in any way that you see fit, because that stuff helps us out quite a bit. You can also go to our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Millennial Nick.
The Zenial Dean.
Gen X, Bruce, Brian.
And have we convinced you that whether today you're being a superhero version of yourself or perhaps your alter ego, that any version of you should be joining us next week for Convincing Idiots?
Yeah, sitting outside listening, man. I mean, certainly people my age, Gen X and older. I mean, just a huge. It was like a good distant friend that you knew passed away. You just had that feeling. Just a good guy that you really meant a lot to you growing up. And it was like, wow, it just is for me anyway, as a piece of my growing up, probably many too, but a piece of my growing up passed away. It was like, man, that's some of the stuff I was reflecting on as well, So
and think of all the decades he had a fingerprint on. If 70s, right. 80s, like you're listening to his music in the 90s still, or your parent, like in my case, he was still making music, but his music was always around. My parents are listening to it in 2000s and beyond. Either your parents or your grandparents are, playing Ozzy Osbourne and all these generations of people who've, heard his music throughout their lives. It's pretty incredible.
Absolutely.
Well, I think one of the most impressive things, there's a handful of artists, bands and whatnot that are part of like teenage boys' lives, where they come into and they find music and they find this artist, then they find this artist. Ozzy is definitely part of that teenage boy's life, where you find, oh, this is Black Sabbath, this is Ozzy Osbourne, you know what I mean? And so he is. I think that's what draws people that didn't grow up with him, in the Black Sabbath days or in the 80s, that probably still today you discover bands like that. He is definitely one of those bands. And I'm very grateful the idea that he got to get his flowers while he could.
Yeah.
His this whole gushing over him, he had a whole fucking stadium show for that. And he deserved it. So he got his flowers. He got to receive his flowers when he could, because there's so many artists that only get it when they pass. You know what I mean? Yes, they get praise and they have a rock and roll career, but they get that overwhelming like surge of love of like, this is what you and your career meant to the world. He got that, and I'm pretty grateful for that.
Yeah, it was just literally like a week and a half ago. So he literally was like at his own wake, more or less. You know what I mean? Like he got to be there for it,
Right. And that's incredible.
Which is very Ozzy anyway. It's a very metal way. It's like, of course he's there for it. You know what I mean? That's fucking awesome. Hey, did you like that video? You know you did, and we know you did. So stop screwing around and go like that video, subscribe to our channel, and join us for some more.
Ham gravy.
Let's start the show. All right, use which one you want. The second, I don't give a shit. Goddamn tongue tied at the bottom.
You had so much more in my head. I'm like, that's.
There's no good goddamn way to go from death. It's just, yeah. It's not an easy way to transition. Okay, fuck it. We'll do it live.
Excited to bring you death.
I like the first part. I like that beginning. I enjoyed
This
that part.
week on Convincing Idiots, let's start the show.
Right. Fuck it. You listening?
All right.
Fucking keep listening. It's
I
fine.
don't know. Fucking listen and find out what happens.
That's right.
Fuck you.
That's right.
How about
don't.
fucking listen to the whole episode?
No one's listening anyway.
You can't say goddamn on the air.
All right. I think you should also do the promo solo.
No, I don't want to do that. I'll start it.
Yep. And you have
For
to
some
name at
reason-
least 3 podcast platforms that we're on. Thank you.
In the beginning?
In the, somewhere.
Oh, no. Spotify, Spottercast, and Caster Nuts. Right?
Yeah.
Caster
that's
Catch
right.
and Podcast and Catcher.
Caster
Yeah.
Pots and
Yep.
Fester Fest.
Perfect.
Okay, so.